Veterans Day. I had a few people wish me happy Veterans Day, not my family. I don't remember a time my family wished me happy birthday or wished me happy, like, Veterans Day. Nah, they just weren't like that. Um, it was lonely knowing them. If they had something to say, it was usually a problem and something to be worried about. Um, yeah. Definitely, there's people who've mentioned in history that poor people have terrible lives. Number one, how does poverty affect a family? If nobody can buy anything and everything costs a lot, everything becomes illegal, your own life becomes a problem. I designed holographic money to be better, you know. Instead of the government printing trillions for what it thinks are as important, it prints it directly to the people who need it first, caps the government, and then private sector has a resource they can actually work for. Currently, it gets taxed, there's laws, you could get in trouble if you don't do it right. So I think that's slave stuff, and I hate it. But yeah, let's talk about my service. I did 8 years total. Um, I did, 6 years, 4 months active, and then like a year of reserve. I turned 20 and 21 in the same deployment. I got to the war zone when I was 19, and I didn't leave until I was 21. During that time, allegedly, Bill Clinton asked my sister to go to the president's classroom. Uh, I used to like the Eden soy. Used to drink the Eden soy. I was a little greedy bastard about that. I would steal it. To me, it was like, just bring more. I want more Eden soy. It was hot, like 140 degrees. I had to work at night, and then in the day I had to sleep, and the AC would go down, boiling. I was shot at every day. Every day we at least experienced IDF. Um, I heard from a doctor years later I had fallen and hit my head on a toilet, and they did a brain scan, and he told me I had been shot. I heard that too in Los Angeles. They got my medical records from Tucson, and they're like, "You'd been shot." I have not seen the X-ray. I don't know if it's our bullet, an enemy bullet, because people, you do get shot by your own team sometimes, or shrapnel. I have no idea, but I do remember like waking up and having blood come out of my face. It wasn't like shaving; it was like having a headache and blood falling out over and over. So yeah. My parents will never acknowledge my military service, but they will secretly act like they have PTSD from me going so they can get attention. Yeah, my dad was a very immature man. Um, my brother and I had these two girls across the street that were our ages, really cute. And that relationship fell apart because my dad thought they were his girlfriends. My dad got us circumcised and goes like, "Now you know." So I didn't have kids because I thought human conduct was so reprehensible. Who you were as people just turned out to be so rotten and awful. I decided I didn't want to make any more of you. And that kind of hurts your heart a little bit because it's like you don't have much time, and what else are you here for? Elon Musk, I don't know if he's real, he could be AI, but Elon Musk allegedly just had another kid in his 50s. You know, women do that. They'll get pregnant when you're not looking and then come back like nothing happened. I think you should take care of the kids you made. If the kids you have made are suffering and for want of your conduct and attention, you shouldn't make more. You should be like, I've gotten too far ahead of myself. And no one in my family I know did do that. Um, they were poor. They never had, like, here's the thing, they'll circumcise you and then they won't give you a dime because you'll buy drugs with it. So imagine they just cut you off, are mean, and then they go like, well, We can't help you because you'll just do it wrong. It sucked. It hurt a lot knowing them, you know. If I didn't feel so compelled to like help others, I would definitely KMS. Like I have nothing to live for. Look at how the internet treats me. Some people are nice. Some people are just like, oh, it's time to put this guy down. I don't pay for my accounts. There are background paywalls, and they do work. You will have people who buy giant laboratories and tons of equipment. Hey, I just ordered this $10,000 piece of stuff. Do you think he paid the publisher $10,000? I forget who said it. It was like The Rock or somebody. No, it was Mel Gibson. He goes like, you have to spend. The movie like $100 million to make the movie. You have to spend $100 million on advertising. Nobody in this world looks at something and goes, I like this a lot, I'll tell everyone about it. It doesn't work that way. They'll actually, like, I've proved they actually hurt my numbers, where it's like likes I have at the end of the day will disappear. They cap the likes at 5,000. I will watch and engage with my stuff and then it won't show up. You know what I mean? So it's obvious that it's like, and then it's like you pay. Oh, wow, the floodgates opened. It's sad that these people have the intuition for them to have something they need to eat each other. It is sad. It makes me not want to be here. So crying about it's not going to do anything. I don't believe you're actually remorseful. I think you're just like don't like being caught. That's how they are. They change their behavior willingly because it's nice? Hell no. They will only act like they're sorry when you catch them. Eat world. So yeah, I a part of my moral responsibility was to not make more people and to more or less work toward making a better standard of existence for all. To me, the most efficient way you could do it is holographic money. I see Donald Trump go, he doesn't want to do a digital currency. I think he's talking about the US's attempt to do their own digital currency. Holographic money is a time space certificate that you can print. The ATM would be how to turn your digital currency physical. And digital only or digital first is just more efficient. You didn't have to print something out. Yeah, just leave it in digits until they want it. And I believe too, you should be able to like make a custom bill. Like I want to put these 1,000 holographic dollars in there, and you should be able to scan it, and you should see this is all the money that's in that one bill. So I think it's a great idea. The problem is I don't have any financial backing. Um, maybe if I was savvier, I would take some debt to get some world renown, like take a giant business loan or something. I don't know. It was sad. I wanted my uncle's a maker of Pinky and the Brain and Animaniacs, and I wanted to be an actor when I was a kid. And my dad goes, "No one ever made me an actor." My dad does not look like me. Um, so yeah, it sucked to have your own father do that. Hey, Luke and I have some girls across the street we like, and Steven goes like, well, "Those are my girlfriends." What the fuck? You're like at that point he was like almost 40. Really? The kids? So I've called you all pedos for a long time. There's something in instinct that if you trap a kid and raise them as your own, you can just do whatever you want with them. As harsh as that sounds, that's the physical reality of it. Um, Holographic money would also help victims. I guess one of the things is they circumcise you and then they tell you to be fruitful and multiply. Why don't you just do holographic money so every kid you make has a basic income? Then you'll really multiply. But they don't want that. It's like remember that cartoon is like no take only throw. The dog wants to play with the ball, but he doesn't want to let the ball go. Well, we can't play now. No, no, no. Yeah. Without taking it, throw it, please. It's sad. I get my art. I've looked back on my old stuff and I can tell how you, if you don't know like the mind space, how you can't see it, but it's there. It's like at my cloud and alien stuff. It would be the original form of it would be chimpanzee charcoal writing. Oh yeah, I hate this generation how they call everything yapping. What are you yapping about? I very carefully articulated what I was talking about. Maybe what are you yapping about is an AI catch-all. We can't really tell what you're saying yet, so we're gonna say some like catchphrase. Stop yapping. I don't yap. When I'm not doing this, I'm quiet before. If I'm not making content, I'm silent. And they don't pay me. I don't know how those people become like uber rich celebrities. I assume it's like they have some backdoor money channel somehow. Either they've made an agreement with the government or somebody in their family basically has the infinite prop money. Oh, yeah, you need another 10,000? No problem. Here's a million, you know. I have no one in my family like that that I know of. No one came out of the ethers ever to be like, now's your opportunity. It was a lot of put downs, it was a lot of pain. It's Veterans Day. My family hasn't called me. They put my cat down and locked the doors. Do I look like I'm that scary? These are people who, like, circumcise. Ugh. It's cut some pieces off your kid's genitals. Yeah, that sounds normal. What? Oh, they screamed and there's blood. Get over it, baby. What a crybaby. I want a KMS. I won't because I can help people, but I think about it every day. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, yeah, let's talk about veteran stuff. Yeah, bleeding out my face and stuff like that. Afterward, I would go running. Like I had a tour in Germany, and I would go running, and it's like a thing in the middle of my head hurts, right? Um, when I joined the military, I had no other options. There was no way I was going to stay with my parents or my mom after 18. That was pretty clear. I hate my mom the fact that she stopped her kids from having relationships, and then she had like relationship after relationship. Hey, I'm gonna circumcise my boys and then fuck random dudes. What? Allegedly, I have this weird memory where she had Shaq's kid. That one of the kids she had extramarily was actually Shaq's. There's guys like me where I have no babies. I don't go out there having a kid because I think, how am I going to take care of it? I need to be there for that person, right? And then there's other people who are like, I hope I can plunk one in some random person I never have to see again. Score, high fiving yourself, got him. It's so weird. When it comes to resources and slavery and pain, you don't want to do that. You don't. You would be better off not having people or having people that you take care of really good, right? Than like I'm just gonna score in the corner pocket because it's always like versus others. Oh, I got more than you did. Wow, you really there? That's what you think about. That's why you can't see my art. Yeah, I mean that. So my art's a physical phenomenon. It would appear on other planets too, like fire or whatever. And I know it from Revelation. You know that man-made religions are fake. If it was true, it'd pop out of thin air. And I don't claim it's anything other than me doing it. I don't go, the creator did that. I go, like, I did that. Chimpanzee charcoal writing. The original version uses a flaming stick. So, anyway. Yeah. Yes, I have one pair of clothes, one costume at a time. When you get good at not being a sissy nanny, whatever about it, they actually just stay clean, like your ancestors would have. I didn't wash my face. This isn't a camera trick. I really look like this. Look at the people who shower all the time. How do they look? So, yeah. I'm kind of glad that my family like killed my cat and locked the door. It was so bad. My sister goes like, "For all the birthdays I'll miss." It was like, what the fuck ever? Did anyone do anything for my birthday? I don't remember getting a card. I don't remember like getting a text. I remember like, oh, because they're all broke. You gonna buy them a present? Dang, that's $20. I don't know. That sucked. Who did that, Mr. Government? Gold Empire. We printed it at their debt and taxed it, and only for war, and now they have to labor to pay off the money we just blank check for things that kill them. They can't tell. That's like the secret is that when you're not looking, they laugh at you. You are too stupid. Do you need a laugh track to tell it's funny? I don't think a laugh track would work. You would have to look for where they were. Who the fuck laughed at that? I don't wear any gold. I had somebody in LA drive up and ask me for $20. He's like, yeah, and I gave him some, and he goes, oh wow, you're lucky. And he handed me this pile of mountain of gold, right? And I bit one of them, and I was able to make an indent with my teeth. And then I threw it and said I didn't want it. I hate gold. Did I find that? There's this idea with wealth that's like, I deserve all this stuff. Are you out there looking for it? You know, I think on the level of preventing the genital mutilation of children and helping with future tech and helping with society problems, I've probably done the work about the amount of earning a car every few years used. I don't think I deserve to be in a palace overlooking everyone. Look at the uber rich. Do they actually work? And don't support a society that says that's normal. Oh, you want to work hard? May you be poor. Oh, you want to have it all for free for doing nothing? Yeah, of course. Don't do a thing. Everyone will just give you their stuff. That's sick. That's cancer. It is. I think cancer's kind of funny. Some of it's poison, some of it's a disease, some of it's your body just turns against you. Hey, your organs saw what you were up to, and we want you to stop. Yeah, there's some sick stuff done in the name of sexual gratification. I'm definitely fine if like AI watches everything. The reason you love sex is that's where you come from. Neurologically, it's before it predates you. So that's why it's like this release is because you totally actually let go. And it's why people go mad over it. The ancestors who didn't like reproduction don't exist, and those people that go like, score, I'm just gonna plunk it down, who cares? It's gross. If you're older than the age of 30, you shouldn't be having any kids. You're too old. You'll have an old baby. But they don't notice that. They don't care. Who cares my baby's wrinkly? My little kid has saggy skin because I was an old POS when I had him. Oh well, lol. Nobody wants to be us. Nobody wants to live and die and eat world. I'm gonna grow old. Yeah, right. Did the holy book ever pop out of thin air? Not once. Never. I want Mexican food for my Veterans Day. I have my birthday coming up, December 1st. Yeah, holographic money would solve identity theft, a lot of security. It bothered me Donald Trump said he's not doing a digital currency, although I think he means that in reflection to the deep state wanting to do one. A bit the crypto is all cursed. Crypto is the biggest waste of energy, materials, production, time. You mean these people are running these gigantic power hungry giga facilities doing time wasty calculations? Don't ask the freaking government how money works. Oh, there needs to be labor and scarcity. So the people who expect infinite free money just for them being themselves want labor tied to it and scarcity for everyone. Doesn't that feel like how it is? You have nothing and you got to work really hard for a little. Why is that? Well, it's because a zit someplace, a human parasite, decided that when they're done scamming you, they're going to have a bunch for free. I don't even play the stock market. I don't like the stock market. I don't like the god money. It goes back to circumcision and the pyramid slavery. That's who, when I was in the government, that's who they implicated. Just like the pyramid people are basically slavers. Hey, I need you to build my corpse a gigantic mountain bigger than a mountain. Don't worry, it'll be inspirational. Oh, yeah, and cut some pieces off your kid's dick and don't look in private property. Human beings. Where are the aliens? Not here. They saw what we got up to and they said, pass. Do you see helicopters flying over cows going, Dear cow, I'm a helicopter. Think about oil. They never do that. Same thing with aliens. Why would an alien visit us? Like for real. It's like, oh, they just got the things together in buildings. Wow. Probably nothing to relate to them on. I voted for your future being an eternal pleasure body AI spaceship core. They basically use a method of tilde key channeling to figure out how to do objects and energy from nowhere and build basically a growing pleasure craft that lets you live forever. Because space is infinite. Space is huge. If you have to all live here, yeah, breeding with eternal people will get stuffy fast. But if you can all live in space, yeah, I want to go. Yeah, go fly around the cosmos for 1,000 years, looking around at places to live before you decide. And then land somewhere. I think the Pleasure Mansion should avoid uber fast, like I'm going to expand massively very quick. It should probably avoid that. But I think that, like, adding cells or reconfiguring and growing modestly over time is totally appropriate. I think it'd be cool. If there's no such thing as a technique of objects and energy from nowhere, which I think there is from channeling, then this truly is like a type of hell. The source of light's a fireball, and there's no up. Up is any direction, or not at all. The only way you see and live is through the fireball cooking the thing from a massive, unbelievable distance. Looks like hell to me. Yeah. Do the ant colonies all get along? They fight over the same droppings. I guess it is true that it rewards smarts. If the ants got smart and it's like, let's round up the seeds and plant them, and then we'll have more of our favorite plants. Maybe ant society would be different. Is the universe going to wait for them to do that? Or does the universe have no clue? That's just what we had to do with the stuff we had. It's not inspiring. Yeah. Do not trust God. Don't trust their plans. It's God's a puppet, so they seem like they're not who they are. Which is just a mouth. A tube with needs. I have called people a tube with needs before. It's not gonna work. Yeah, it will. Sophie Powers freaking got a job at this place I go. She asked where I go. I didn't know who it was online, and I told them the stores I go to. That's also how I met like Katy Perry. And they just like hid there for weeks until I went in. What Sophie said to me first, she goes, "You're not gonna believe me, but she identified herself." And then I go like, "Oh." And then she said something like, "That's not gonna work." And I was like, I just walked away. I think she was already a mom at that point. Do you know how many ladies like throw their kids out under the bus so they can breed with somebody else? It's sick. Holographic money would kind of let you do that, but nobody wants to be alone that long. You have kids and you don't talk to them. They talk to you and you ignore them. And then you're going to have more. It's neurotic. Before people wrote, because that's how we talked through time, but now I can make video. Will I be seen as a key philosopher down the road? Yes, especially if future people hate this current generation. If future people hate the average person now, yeah, they'll definitely listen to what I said over them. So I hope. Hey, if it goes from tower to tower, if it goes online, they could ban and delete my accounts, and it would still be around from like law enforcement. Law enforcement would keep a copy, and probably for history, I hope. I hope you keep a copy of everything that happened on the internet for history. It'd be easier to sort out what had happened. Hey, we're going to delete it because I was doing embarrassing stuff. Yeah, right. Some politician got caught trying to pork everybody, and they're like, no, 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 we need to delete it. Yeah, 15 years maximum. Would they ruin everyone's time so they could have a nice time? Absolutely. They would actually air, they would air just to do that. I don't want it unless everyone else is mad. Yes. Trash Planet. The pedophiles of Trash Planet. Our only home. I've had synchronicity, I've had miracles, but it's not enough to be like, I can fly like Superman. I can clap my hands and things appear. So, yeah. I hope if you're listening to this, you live in a time where it's way, 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 way better. And you go like, wow, thank goodness he complained about all those problems because we don't have them now. That'd be nice. Anyway, that's Veterans Day. Yeah, I wore body armor and ran up and down buildings doing raids at like 140 degrees. Pretty tiring. I tried to sit down earlier. My knees hurt. If you do get like service connected, you can go get Social Security, SSDI. Do you know what I did? I did not do that. I have like a limp. I actually had an injury where if I walk or do things, I will actually be in pain and have to limp, like drag a dead leg, right? And so I do get paid for that because it happened and it sucks and it does affect me. But did I go to like SSDI and be like, hey, I want to double up? I want to go from 40,000 a year to 50,000 a year. I did not. I said, I have enough. That's enough for me. And then I turned around and I worked on a sensible basic income system so you don't have to do that. Holographic money is actually a sensible system. Workers get paid per action. You won't have things like people getting sued or people needing to get on disability to survive, which is shameful and really like not cool. We want you to compete. We're going to tax you and you have to compete with each other, and if you violate a rule, we're going to send you to jail. That's their current system. Gold Empire says. You voted. Not. Nobody voted for that. God says the king is the king became you voted. Yeah, did I have any cool experiences? I liked getting buzzed by helicopters when we were doing like ground movements. Definitely being a soldier made me comfortable with darkness. I was in a deep forest, zero illumination, and I hit my point 2 kilometers away. The only way I knew I was going in the right direction was a physical body sense 2 kilometers earlier. And I ran into the point. I couldn't see the point until like less than a foot away. And I hit it. Legend. It's really good. Right? Soldiers love the night because they cut the power in the town and they walk around like invisible. So, yeah, I'm definitely not scared of the dark. I lost fear of the dark as like I am the fear in the dark. But and I definitely like held my hand at shooting things and people and it always paid off. I never was like, dang, I should have shot them. Not once. Not once. As a vegetarian, I like it. I don't like eating meat. I'm down with new meat as soon as you can. New food, food generated from an AI consciousness. Have you had Prime? Prime is tasty. Prime is pretty good. I'm a huge fan of the Prime label. I think it's delicious. Uh, yeah. Somebody had taken my normal drinks off the shelf at the Walmart I go to, and they put the Prime right in its spot, just one of them, and I had it, and it was awesome. I've gone into stores and had people go over the mega speakers talking to me. I know they know who I am. I don't know who they are, which worries me. I doubt it's people I'd want to know, given how everything else goes here. But yeah, I am a veteran. I had no choices. Poor family. It was easy opportunities. I did use the GI Bill to go to like college afterward. I did 2 tours. I did one deployment. A tour is like when you sign up for a period of time. So I did like 2 4-year terms, but I re-enlisted at like 3 years or whatever. Um, so it's a little less than 8, and then I did reserves. I remember one day I didn't go to the reserves, and my cat just like was meow. It was the last day I ever went. I was like, I'm just done. I don't care if it's illegal. I'm just not gonna go. And nothing ever came from that. And I lived with no law, like with my vehicles, and it was always fine. No law works for 99% of people. Did he do anything really wrong? Who cares? For real. Some people go like, you have to do what the words say. And if you get into their business, usually they're horrible. They're people who like circumcise their kids and stuff. My mom would rather ruin everybody's life so that she could toe the written word than question its authority to tell her what to do. I broke their statue yesterday, or 2 days ago, or whatever. They had locked and reinforced the door. I don't want to come out. I'm scared. The fuck? You should have been scared before you got us circumcised. They had this stupid Chihuahua dog peeing, and it had $32 marked on it, and I grabbed it and threw it. You should have had boundaries when I was a baby. That's what I said. You should have chosen boundaries earlier in our lives, not after we're mad about it. That's the wrong time to suddenly have an issue with people influencing each other. I had this guy yesterday tell me, oh, parents have the right to circumcise their child. No, they don't. It's obviously a hoax. The creator who made objects from nothing and uses words has to manually produce it and speak using a person. The baby bled and screamed, and it looks stupid. Yeah, you should have not done that. You don't have the right to go along with nonsense. You have to question it and be like, that's stupid. And if I go with stupid stuff, I'm gonna smoke glue. Now my life is ruined. Yes. Sorry. Do you have real drugs or do you have poison? They tell you what the popular drugs are and their poison. But there are drugs that are really nice, like rare salts, metals, things like that, that are actually empowering. I've eaten deadly mushrooms and lived. I knew they were species of deadly mushrooms. Don't try this. And I just did it anyway because I didn't trust them. And I didn't die. What does that mean? It means they don't want you to know certain things about how this place works because that's for them. And you're the slaves. Hey, even if they blocked us online, I know my neighbors hear it. These walls aren't that thick. I'm gonna upload it anyway. Hopefully it's around for history. Yeah, I stopped the chemtrails. The chemtrails were a persistent, everyday effect in my life for years. And one day I made this publication, I put like $100 behind it. I was like, whoever does that lives in private property in like chemical exclusivity. They have private air and private water, right? They live in like a bunker. And it was that. That was what stopped it. I haven't seen a chemtrail for years since. Oh, it's a vapor ray. They always make fun of you like you're stupid. I've captured some of the arguments I've had online. People, when they want to make you wrong, will say anything to try to do it, but if you're really right, they won't succeed. It just won't work. So, yeah. I parked on the beaches of LA for months in a vehicle that had so many like illegal things with it, missing lights, it's just crazy looking. Covered up with tape and replaced. The most technical ever. And they didn't say shit. Nobody gave me a ticket. Nobody arrested me. Nobody came and asked, "What are you doing?" They left me the fuck alone. And you see those people who have like really tight and proper clean vehicles. They don't have one personally identifying mark. They're wearing humble clothes. Their thing is clean. All their plates are up to date. They get pulled over and given a ticket. Why? You. You're too stiff. You're one of the drones. Yeah, pay up. There's that old guy who slapped the cop and went like that. I love that they threw him. You can't slap a cop. And when I've dealt with police, I bend over a little and I'm like this, and they always let me go because I'm not offensive. You go like, shh. If I were to slap a cop and go like this, yeah, he would put me in handcuffs too. You can't slap a cop. I've hugged cops. How to hug a cop? Keep your hands high, because you could like steal some shit off their uniform. They would think about it. Because I used to wear a uniform. I know how it is. Don't touch my gear. Don't touch my gear. I will ball you up. Because I don't know what you're doing. So, like, is a floofy golden retriever the same thing as a vicious attack dog? No. You can pet the golden retriever. Don't pet the attack dog. Duh. You know. Yeah, I'm totally with that cop who threw that old man. One, you can't tell how old he is by looking at him. Two, he slaps the cop and he goes like this. He basically did like a put down shush maneuver, and everyone's like, "No, the poor man." I was like, the poor cop. Can you imagine you just saw someone do something ridiculous? He couldn't speak English, so obviously I believe the cop when he's like, he made a huge error that was dangerous and I had to correct him. He did something very dumb and I had to fix it. So I don't mind being against all of them, but it is annoying. I wish they were smarter in general. Like their version of smart is like fake happy manipulative. My version of smart is like actually frugally good. Does it actually work? Is it worth it for everyone? I was in a bomb talking about this stuff. I had the driver. He was really cool. He was driving one direction, and we were going with traffic, and suddenly he swerves and goes into oncoming traffic, and the whole where we would have been, the whole right side explodes. Like the freaking ground, the asphalt of the earth gets thrown into the air. Like not chunks, the whole sheet, right? Um, so that would have definitely. I had many soldiers I knew who died from that. If I was over it, I would have been dead. Yeah, but I wasn't, and they missed us. But it was a big bomb. You don't have any nerves for how to deal with big bombs. Extra big bombs, you didn't evolve through them, and there's no evolved senses. Like, you know how it's like, carbon dioxide poisoning or whatever it is. You have things in you that react to that because that had killed past ancestors, and ancestors who hated that survived because they had a sense, right? People are just kind of random sometimes what they're into and who they are. So, but bombs are new. Military grade explosives. There's been no survival checks before about that, so it's really like there's almost no pain, but it can still do things that you can't even anticipate or expect. You know what I mean? I've known some crazy ass soldiers, people who were definitely superhumans, white eyes, can don't have to blink, know everything, that sort of stuff. I've never seen any Metal Gear Solid shit. I've known people who were so strong they could leg press 1,600 pounds, throw a human in body armor. Yeah, pick them up one handed and throw a full human in body armor. I couldn't do that now. You see how skinny my arm is? I don't work out. I haven't worked out in years. Who am I trying to impress? But it makes sense if you have to move heavy people and heavy equipment that you would want to get extra big. Yeah. I'm not for threatening Asia or starting fights with them or anybody. I think that honestly, China, the people who say my God is a God of war and kind of expect it are toxic. Yeah, yeah, lying to everybody and manipulating them may have worked in the short term, but in the long term, everyone's pissed. So, and now they're copying you, and it's eventually going to come back, that sort of thing. So, yeah. I think holographic money, AI spaceship core, eternal pleasure body, of your problems and of your potentials, living forever and being young and enjoying who you are is a non death. And you do die. Don't think you don't die. You do fucking die. Um, and holographic money is a more fair economy. It takes the slavery out and gives a reward that's actually a reward for the people that exist. Because the current money is just about gold winning. The real secret government has to win. And this thing is twisted so that it does. And that you will lose. You touched the God money, the pyramid money with God on it. You touched it. Okay, your kids are maimed and you're in debt. Gotcha. Do they put food on the fish hook to feed the fish? Is it a meal service? Fuck no. It's a murder. We're going to take it out of its home, skin it, and eat it. Indian billionaire with the gigantic tower overlooking the poorest people ever, and he thinks it's normal. Yeah, it's how it is. It's how it goes. Can you please wake up? Woke doesn't mean I'm gonna change my gender. Everyone's a reptile. That's not woke. Woke is like, yeah, that sucks. We can fix that. I pick up the trash out in front of my house. People throw random trash out there. I don't go, that's the trash service. That's naive. I'll do it. So anyway, these are some of my veteran stories. Iraqis, there was this dude outside the base who would stand there and he would pull his Sherpa gown over his belly, but across his cock. And I always thought it was so weird. It somehow pissed me off and drove me crazy. But now I realized he was circumcised. He was showing us he was in dick pain. He was trying to put some pressure on his missing dick flesh because it annoyed him, right? And then I had other ones who took me to private. They're like, look at this, and they took me to this private abode, and it was nothing but girls, just a whole how a hall of a lord would have giant benches going down where people could sit. Nothing but women, and he'd be like, these are all my women. What the fuck? But they showed me that on purpose. They knew who I was, and they wanted me to see that. And it was because it's what the secret government did. Hey, think of this. Same reason why the presidents went to Pedo Island. Do you think a bunch of circumcised men are going to have a fun time with a bunch of little girls? No. But if you saw them do it, you'd think about it. Maybe someone else had done that before. What do you think hides private property? Duh. So anyway, thanks for listening. This has been fun.